Hey, how are you all doing, my YouTube people? In today's video, I'd like to share with you a bit of what I've learned in all these years playing TF2. Specifically, I'd like to bring some attention to the fact that it is very common for us to get used to playing a single class, our main class. In my case, it's Soldier, but other people have their preferences. And the point of this video is interesting because it is counterintuitive. To get good at your main, it is important you don't play it. Or perhaps I should say, to get good at your main, it is important you don't play it exclusively. Those of you that are more experienced probably already got my point, but stick around because this was one of the most liberating things I've learned about TF2. When I started playing this game, everything was weird to me and I had a rough time getting used to it. Team Fortress 2 isn't a regular FPS in terms of mechanics, and the veteran player base is a huge barrier for newcomers. The class that I initially felt drawn to was Soldier. He has a reasonable amount of health, so I wouldn't die so frequently. Reasonable speed, it wouldn't take me too long to get to the battlements. And weapons that are easy to start using. Anyone who ever played a first-person shooter has some understanding of how a rocket launcher and a shotgun work. I got familiar with Soldier, learned to rocket jump at a basic but functional level, and started understanding my place on matches, to be at least a bit useful for my team. But I got to a point where I reached some kind of ceiling. Even if I kept playing as Soldier, it seemed my progress was halted and I couldn't get any better. In particular, I started to realize that some more experienced players had no trouble stopping me. That Pyro always got me with an air blast. That Scout was always dodging my rocket splash damage. And that Medic would manage to escape my attacks by surfing away my own rockets. It seemed like other players knew how to use my limitations as a class to their benefit. And it was then I realized that, if I wanted to deal with them, I would have to learn to think like them. And because of that, I started playing as Pyro, Scout, Medic, and with all the other classes. It was kinda hard in the beginning, because I was out of my comfort zone. It was like having to learn the game all over again, and I felt like a noob again, confused and lost about what I had to do. But with time, I got to understand the basic function of each class and how those more experienced players got to trick me every time. That hard effort had two main benefits. Firstly, my Soldier game improved a lot. I've learned how to anticipate when a Pyro would air blast, and I could avoid that. I better tracked Scouts so they couldn't dodge my splash damage. And I also learned how to deal with players that knew how to surf damage to escape, leaving them less opportunity to take advantage of my rockets. I didn't become a Soldier master. It is obvious I still have a lot to learn. But trying out other classes helped me to have a broader perspective on the game, and that helped me progress as a player. Secondly, this exercise increased my repertoire on TF2. I started to appreciate other classes, and I now could change classes depending on what my team needed or on what I felt like playing. A lot of people get tired of TF2 because they always play the same classes, the same way, doing the same stuff over and over. That's really boring after a while. But after learning other classes besides my main, I could play Spy, Scout, Engineer, and all the others when I got bored of playing my standard Soldier game. Mixing up my playstyle like that increased my enjoyment of the game exponentially, and I finally understood why TF2 is such a long-lasting game. So remember this, don't stick to playing only your favorite class, because for you to be better at it, at some point you have to learn the other classes as well. And the same goes for weapon loadouts. Don't settle for the same set, mix things up and try new combinations. Take some steps outside your comfort zone from time to time, because only through that you grow as a player. What do you think about this advice? Do you agree with me or do you disagree? Leave a comment below, it will be nice to share opinions. And don't forget to leave a like, share the video and subscribe to check out my future videos. See you next time!